It really is what everyone is talking about today. The child fathered by former Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger outside of his marriage. Dr. Sheri Meyers is a family and marriage therapist. She's with me right now. We heard Charles Feldman just a minute ago. He says he believes Maria perhaps knew about this. It wasn't just something that happened after the governor left office. As an expert, what's your take on that?
I think Maria, throughout the marriage, knew more than just this one event. In fact, I believe there's more than just this one event. And there was perhaps a collusion in the betrayal. And when you know on some level, it makes it less painful. If this was a shock, if this was absolutely a surprise and she's hit from behind with this surprise and then the whole world knows, that's so much more devastating. So for her, I hope she has known, and I have a feeling she has.
There's a difference between knowing and suspecting. Mm-hmm. Sometimes a lot of women suspect but don't really want to necessarily know the truth.
Exactly, because how can you stay with a partner? How can you look in his eyes knowing that they're keeping a secret and you're keeping that secret? But sometimes for the children, so many people, and especially women, will stay and close their eyes and say, okay, I just won't look that way.
Do you know, a lot of women look at this and realize perhaps there are degrees of betrayal here. It's one thing to grope someone or to have an affair, but this would seem to be the ultimate betrayal.
Well, the ultimate betrayal, the person's living in your house, and let's say she didn't know for sure or anything about the child. You know, this woman is part of the family. She's been there for 20 years. She's raised her children there. You know, this is a person that the children identify with. And so I would think as a mother, it's even harder. It's one thing if I know, but it's another thing for the kids to be going through this, because it's probably a surprise for them.
Their kids are, their youngest, I believe, is a teenager, and then they have Patrick, who is 17 years old. But let's talk about this child out of wedlock. We don't know how old the child is. It could be, he or she could be anywhere from 10 to 20 years old. Mm-hmm. What do you do if you're Maria Shriver now and you have 4 children and there is this other child?
Well, chances are they know this child. This child's been part of their lives for 20 years. We don't know anything, but I can't imagine that this child, with the person, the mother, being there for 20 years, that the child was excluded. So perhaps the child also had a lot of interaction with the family.
You know, it's interesting. The last couple of weeks we've seen several occasions where Arnold and Maria were together in public. I believe they were at LMU for a nephew's graduation from college there. She used the word heal in her statement. What does that telegraph to you?
Well, H-E-E-L or H-E-A-L? Because right now I am sure he's the ultimate heal. But there is possibilities when there's affairs. There's truly a possibility for a rebuilding and for a healing. But it takes a lot of work, and it takes absolute integrity and an honesty. And the guilty party, especially the betrayer, has to come forth not only going, gee, I'm sorry, let's move on, but really own his lack of integrity and come forth saying, I want you more than anything, and I'm willing to work on this. Now, can Arnold really get to that place of humility and integrity?
What kind of public opinion, if that happens? Women will either come down one side or the other. They're not going to come down in the middle. What will that do, or how does that play into all of this?
Well, the big controversy is if Maria has known and stood by her man. You know, as women, what kind of role model? Are we supposed to stand by our men if they betray us? There's been a lot of women in politics who have stood by their husband, even in the face of ultimate and absolute betrayal.
You mentioned women in politics, their husbands in politics. What is it that makes men in politics, some men in politics, let me qualify that a little bit, cheat? Is it an ego thing? Is it availability? What is it?
I think it's all of the above. There's got to be a certain alpha that will pursue, the lead dog that will pursue politics to begin with. So there's a lot of testosterone in the alpha male. On top of that, there's a lot of power, and power attracts. there's groupies, whether you're a rock star, political, sports star, people want you. They throw themselves at you. So you really have to have a resolute character within yourself and a almost daily commitment to your partnership. Now, when your partnership is also the state of California or the United States, or when you're a politician, sometimes your commitment is to the broader public and not to your primary family.
I have one other quick question. The 17-year-old son, Patrick, has been tweeting. His name on Twitter is Patrick Shriver. Does that tell you anything about the family right now?
The kids are pissed. The kids have a major healing. What a horrible way to find out. It's one thing if it's a little family drama, but this is a mega metropolis of drama that they have to face. And I am sure no matter what Maria is feeling, the kids, they've lost their role model. They've lost their dad that they've looked up to. He's more than human. You know, he's coming out that he's lied to them. And that's going to take a major healing.
All right, Sheri, so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you coming in here.